Gia, the only time you're making the news is when you're reading somebody. Let's try to make the news for our talent. Let's try to make the news for our good work in the community. Let's try to do bigger and better than saying negative things about other people. For all the charisma she has, I just feel like that shadiness is just something she just can't let go.
Could somebody please make it make sense?
Everybody, welcome to A Pop of Culture. I'm your host, the Esoteric and Facetious, and this is A Pop of Culture, which is my video essay podcast where I speak on pop culture, social justice, and human experience from a black, bisexual, millennial perspective. Everything, and I mean everything I say, should be taken with a grain of salt, as I'm simply a recent college grad with access to a recording device and the internet. With that being said, my intention be always to critique my views unless it's truly relevant. If you disagree with anything I say, let's have a civil conversation in the comment section below. Before I get into the topic of this video, which is Gia Gunn and her tweet, I want to advertise my cover channel, A Pop of Culture Sings, where I sing throwback R&B, contemporary R&B, pop music, whatever I'm feeling, whatever you're feeling. So if you want to be down like Brandy, if you're down with the click R.I.P. Aaliyah, then definitely feel free to check that channel out. Now let's get into the topic of this video, which is Gia Gunn and her tweet. At 3:51 a.m. today, Gia Gunn said, "Say what you want, but I saw zero beauty at this year's DragCon. What happened to the glamour?" And then a little shrugging emoji. And I saw that Heidi in Closet said, "Now I usually don't say anything, especially when it comes to messy, foolish, and clearly incorrect social media posts, but this time, Miss Gia Gunn, I feel this is a step too far. As sisters, we should build each other up, not tear each other down. Until you learn that, take a seat." Miss Heidi had to pop off on her, and I see why. I want to say my opinion on the situation. So I enjoyed Gia Gunn during her first season and also during her second season on All Stars. But one of the issues I had with Gia is I felt she was always trying to read somebody. She was always trying to be shady. She was always trying to put somebody down. And for me, I love members of my community, the LGBT community, especially LGBT people of color. But one of the issues I have with a lot of LGBT people is I feel there can be this over-reliance on shade. And it always comes off to me as immature. There are certain people who are in the community where I feel they always have to put somebody down to make themselves feel better about themselves. They can't just be nice. They can't leave the shade behind. I'm not saying that you can't have playful banter with people and be shady every so often and it'd be funny, but I feel like there are certain people where I feel like they make shade a part of their identity in a way where they make their identity being shady, being messy, reading people. And my thing is this, I feel there's a certain point when it's not even just being catty and funny, where we're all in on the joke, where it turns into you're just tearing people down. And I feel like people get away with it because in LGBT culture and the scene, I feel like shading and reading is a part of the culture, and it's been a part of the culture for a very long time. So I feel like people, they try to excuse toxic behavior as, oh, I'm just reading, you know, we're just shading, we're just kikiing. And it's like, you're not just shading, you're not just kikiing, you're being toxic, you're putting other people down, and you're trying to pass it off as, oh, it's just a joke, oh, it's just a kiki. But it's like, you insulted other queens, you are a part of the group, you insulted their looks. And that's the thing too, DragCon is expensive and drag in general is expensive. So it's like a lot of these queens, they are paying money to be there. I'm pretty sure all of them are paying money to be there, to get the booth and all that. It's not free. So it's like they're spending money not only on their outfits, but on the booth, on the merch. They're spending all of this money trying to travel here, probably have their team also get there. They're just trying to do all of this stuff. So it's just like, for her to make this little quip about what happened to the glamour, it's like, girl, ain't nobody got time for that. Because it's like, these people, they're trying to maximize the income they can make off of this event because, of course, with COVID, of course, there's still shows and clubs and bars and all of that going on. But this is one of their biggest chances to get some of that money back that they spent on the season and just general expenses. This is their big chance to make some of that money back and also interact with fans. So I just feel like for Gia to shade these people, it's just like, all of y'all should have so much going on, just trying to make sure everything's right with you, your booth. I feel like Gia, it's like, sis, you should have been focused on your booth. You should have been focused on networking. But it's like, Gia, I liked her, but I always felt she fell into that shady category that I can't get into. Because for me, I love a little key and a little shade here and there that's funny when we're all in on the joke. But my issue with people like Gia is she always just gives me that vibe of, I'm being really mean and I'm being really nasty. And it's because I'm not happy within, I'm not happy with myself, and I'm not going to resolve those issues, but I'm going to keep projecting them onto other people. That's the vibe I get from Gia. So as I said, with DragCon, I feel she should have been networking with people. She should have been trying trying to make connections. Because that's my thing. If you notice, a lot of the queens who are successful in Drag Race, they network with other queens, they collaborate with other queens. This season is full of trans women and people who are of the trans experience. It's like if Gia was smart, she probably would have tried to talk with Bosco, talk with Willow, talk with Carrie, talk with Cornbread, talk with Jasmine, and maybe one of them or all of them could have decided to do a collaboration that would have been really great, that would have been really wonderful, that would have shown the queens on Drag Race, the former contestants of Drag Race. Even though RuPaul said those things in the past, we are here, we are proud, we are living in our truth, we are owning who we are, and RuPaul isn't going to stop us, no one's going to stop us, we stand together. I feel like if she had been smart, she would have been thinking about ways where she could have built her brand up in ways that weren't shady and negative. But I feel like she was just so pressed on this shady negative thing that she just seems to not be able to shake. Because even in All Stars, I loved her performance. I guess it's like her geisha performance. I'm not exactly sure what the art form would be called, but in that performance, everything was beautiful, everything was right. And even when it comes to her lip sync against Naomi, everything was right. The face is right, the outfits are right, everything is right, but it just feels like that little shadiness. I feel like it never goes anywhere. Because even when she was about to be eliminated, she was talking about in that episode how it was hard for her to do drag because with her identifying as a trans woman, with her being a trans woman, she felt like it was hard for her to fully get into her drag character without feeling like it somehow conflicted with her identity as a trans woman. And I remember that episode, I was just so compelled with that. Like I was compelled with her talent show performance, with her lip sync ability. But I feel like I was never fully able to get into Gia. And of course, the show's edited, of course, they may have omitted some moments that we could have seen that would have helped us to relate to Gia. But it's just like, I feel like on the show and even off the show, I just feel like she's always had that little shady attitude and that shady vibe where it's just like, it seems she feels good about making these little digs about other people. And it just makes it hard for me to feel invested in her journey as a drag performer and just as a public figure, because it just feels like, what's the next shady thing she's gonna say? I just feel like she can't just enjoy being a public figure in the Drag Race fandom and in general. I legitimately don't know what she wants. I thought maybe some of it may have been, oh, because she is trans, maybe she was taking out some of her frustration on other people. Maybe that's why she was being so angry. But now it's like she's out as a trans woman. She's living her life as a trans woman. And it just feels like she's still causing issues. She's still just being mean-spirited. And I don't know what it is. I'm like, Gia, what do you want? And it's weird because she was just getting back on the good side of the fandom, because I remember she had that meme of the doors I've opened. And of course, there was some drama initially with it where it was basically like there were other trans people who were out on the show before you came back to All Stars. Peppermint had been on the show as an out trans woman before, but oddly enough, it turned into this funny meme where it was basically like anytime a person came out as trans on Drag Race, Gia would say, oh, the doors I've opened, or people bring that up. So it's like, even though people were critical of her for saying that she opened so many doors for trans contestants on the show because of the whole Peppermint situation, it oddly enough turned out in her favor, where it turned into this meme where people making memes of it and fan art of it, of the doors I've opened. And so I feel like she was kind of getting on the good side of the fandom again, just to say the shady remark. And it's just like, what did you gain from this? Like Gabrielle Union once said, she was on the show with Oprah and some Black legends in acting, and she was talking about how she would used to tear people down, and somebody pulled her aside and said, did your house get bigger? Did you get the man? Did you get the role? And basically they told her, you gain nothing from tearing those people down. It's just weird to me, because it's just like, as I said earlier in the video, part of how you stay relevant as a queen from Drag Race, a former contestant of Drag Race, is through interacting with other queens, having your own projects. And I see that she does do stuff, but I just feel like if you're at DragCon, clearly you want to still be associated with the fandom, with Drag Race in general. So it's just like, why would you say stuff that would put a bad taste in people's mouth? Especially considering all the people from all the different franchises there. You have people from all around the world, and instead of sitting here networking, getting friendly with these people, considering different opportunities and things y'all could do, you choose to send out this shady tweet. And I feel like this tweet, of course, it's just a tweet, it is what it is, but I feel like this tweet and this whole kind of shady thing is something I've kind of been wanting to get into, especially relating to the LGBT community. It just keeps happening, and it's just like, when are you going to put on your grown woman panties and just be chill? Just go to a gig and have a good time. Just network, just have fun. I just feel like some people, I just feel like they have that superiority complex where it's just like, I'm up here and you're down here. And it's just like with Drag Race, y'all are all contestants who are clearly trying to make some coin at this event and clearly trying to network and have a good time. Just have a good time. I just feel like she needs to find the reason why she always feels the need to knock people down and to be shady, because I just feel like if you have this dialogue with yourself, every time you feel this need to say something shady or to knock someone down a peg, and you really look at yourself, look hard at yourself and evaluate it, I feel like you may find out, oh, well, maybe this is the reason why, or maybe this is the reason why. And you can work through that and not further damage your reputation. So that's all I have to say on that. Thanks so much for watching. Have a wonderful day. Love y'all. Bye-bye. Thanks for watching. Like this video if you like this video. Let me know if you agree or disagree with the points I made in the comments below. If you enjoyed this content, definitely like, comment, subscribe, and share. That way, even if YouTube isn't pushing my content, those who resonate with it are sharing it so it can connect with others who would enjoy it. Those are some easy, free ways to support A Pop of Culture. If you want to support this show financially, feel free to send a tip to my Cash App or buy me a cup of coffee. Both are linked below. All who donate will be featured in the credits of my long-form commentary and cover videos. There are 2 playlists that are going to pop up, one where you can binge watch my covers and one where you can binge watch my commentary. Enjoy. Bye-bye.